Why do humans clash? It's just human nature, really. And conflict will look different from different angles based on perspectives the people bring to a particular conflict. Hence, if we want to avoid it, or if we want to replace it, if we want to get rid of it, we have to listen to all the parties involved. That is critical, active listening. Without that, work won't progress. We must understand what each group wants. We must sort then what is right, what is acceptable, what is legitimate, and what is not. So that's why you need a third party. That's why you need outsiders to come in, step in, listen to all the parties involved, figure out what is right, what is wrong, and then try to make sense of the entire situation. Using, for instance, human rights as a measure, and then try to bridge the gap between legitimate goals. If we focus basically on human rights, what is the right of every single human being? No matter where you are, no matter who you are, as a human being, you have certain rights. Based on that, the third party or the outsider looks at the perspectives of the involved parties and then makes a decision. Such is the transcend approach. All parties to conflict have equal rights to be understood, but not the same right to be accepted and supported. That depends on legitimacy. So in this fourth stage, the transcend approach or the transdisciplinary approach, all parties in the conflict have equal right to be understood, but not the equal right to be accepted. Because obviously, if two parties are in conflict, nobody can accept what both parties want. One party will be deemed right, more legitimate. The other party will not. And that is why an outsider stepping in tries to alleviate the conflict between these two particular groups. Peace studies focus less on actors, more on deep cultures and structures and how they affect mediation and reconciliation. If we are only looking at the people, that's not enough in peace studies. People matter, but they're not everything in peace studies. We need to look at deep cultures. We need to look at traditions. We need to look at human rights. We need to focus on how the mediation process, how this outsider is perceived by these two groups of individuals. Is this outsider even going to be accepted? Because if the outsider is not accepted, reconciliation is not going to work out. There has been much focus on the role of structure for peace, particularly of gender and class relations. Time has come for much more focus on culture and not only in the sense of religion. Conflict and peace have become so complicated in the 21st century that looking at previously established norms may not necessarily work today. So we have to get out beyond just looking at gender, race, class, religion, ethnicity. We need to go beyond all that, because as this world shrinks to a global village, big thanks to the virtual world and virtual reality, we are connected in some way with everyone from around the world. And a conflict in one part of the world will affect all the other regions, whether we would like to believe in that or not. That is true. Why do humans clash? It may be two neighbors disagreeing over a fence or a devastating worldwide war. Whatever a conflict scale, students of peace and conflict resolution seek the causes, because it's the causes that need to be attacked. We don't want to sift and work with the existing conflict. We want to see why the conflict came about. What were the reasons? What were the causes? Was there one cause, two causes, three, four? More causes, more complex becomes the situation to handle. Fewer the causes, and that is why trying to nip a conflict in the bud is more important than waiting for it to grow, become worse, and out of control. They hope eventually to use their skill to help prevent war and encourage peace. If peace studies is promoted and individuals learn how to live in harmony, how to avoid conflict, how to resolve conflict, how to manage conflict, wars can be prevented and peace can be encouraged. An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind, because that's what conflict does. You hit me, I hit you. You kick me, I kick you. You slapped me, I slapped you. An eye for an eye is going to make the whole world blind. If all we do is pluck out eyes, we won't be able to see anything. And so conflict needs to be resolved.